HS here doesn't designate a super fast rail route, but MG's largest SUV, which has replaced the GS in the company's crossover lineup. It's one of the most spacious mid-sized SUVs you could choose, yet it retails for thousands less than you'd pay for comparably shaped rivals. The usual MG formula, in other words, backed up by the normal lengthy brand warranty. MG is one of the market's fastest growing car brands, with almost all of its sales being currently of its compact ZS SUV. This HS model slots in above that car, enabling the company to hold on to family buyers who might have outgrown its smaller model, and to target new customers who previously would never have considered MG in this segment. These people are going to want a higher standard of luxury and sophistication than anything the brand has previously offered, and the HS range sets out to provide just that. If MG can successfully deliver with a car like this, all kinds of things might be possible in the future. Only one engine is offered here, a 162 PS, 1.5 litre four-cylinder turbo petrol unit that only drives through the front wheels. It's a reasonably willing thing, capable of rest to 62 miles an hour in 9.9 seconds, reaching a top speed of 118 miles an hour. Customers have the choice of either a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed DCT dual-clutch auto gearbox, which on top versions can also be manually controlled using the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. DCT versions feature smooth shifts and also feature a series of drive modes, including Eco, Normal, Sport and a driver customizable option. The steering wheel mounted Super Sport button allows the driver to quickly engage sport mode, and it also illuminates the interior's red ambient lighting. Now, we'll be frank, there's nothing very memorable about driving an HS, but then you won't be expecting the ride and handling of this Chinese SUV to be cutting edge. We think that typical family buyers will probably be quite satisfied though. True, body control through the turns isn't quite as well sorted as it is in, say, a Qashqai or an Attica, but the steering is quite well weighted and the car turns in accurately. You might worry about the petrol engine's relative lack of torque being insufficient for towing duties. This MG's unit develops 250 Newton meters of pulling power. That's still enough to allow it to tug along a brake trailer of up to 1,750 kilograms in weight, which should be enough for most owners to haul medium-sized trailers, caravans or boats. Because this is a front-driven only model, you shouldn't expect to be able to engage in any serious off-road shenanigans. The relatively restricted ground clearance doesn't allow for that anyway. You expect plenty of metal for your money from an MG, and you'll not be disappointed here. Don't be put off by the fact that an HS isn't much cheaper than, say, a Nissan Qashqai. It's quite a lot bigger than one of those, though there are still only 5 seats. The styling's pretty straightforward, taking the family look lately established with the compact ZS and applying it to a wider, squarer shape. It's all rather smart, even a little Mercedes GLC-like from some angles, especially here at the rear. There's an almost Mercedes-like feel inside too, or at least there is in this top exclusive variant anyway. Across the range, HS cabins are marked out by a high-quality dash with welcome little touches like piano black finishing and satin chrome trim, as well as knurled effect, piano key switchgear and turbine-style air vents. MG is really getting the hang of cabin design, and this car is a big step forward in this respect from anything the brand has previously offered. The seats in lower order models could be a little more supportive. The indicator stalks feel a bit plasticky, and there are a few too many bings and bongs for our liking. But that's about it on the debit side. There aren't many buttons, most features relocated to a large 10.1-inch centre dash infotainment touchscreen compatible with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Interior space is class-leading, something you'll especially notice in the rear, where there's vastly more room than you'd get in a Qashqai or an Attica. It's almost possible to fit 3 adults here comfortably, which is unusual in this class. Headroom's good too, even with the panoramic sunroof fitted. The central seat back doubles as an armrest, and it has built-in storage and twin cup holders. Rear passengers get 2 central air vents and USB ports, plus a reading light on each side. Out back, there's a decently sized 450-litre boot, that capacity measured up to the window line. You've got a bit more space under the boot floor, though only because MG declines to fit any sort of spare wheel. Fold the 60-40 split rear bench and capacity rises to 1,454 litres. Pricing for this mid-sized family SUV is pitched in the £18,000 to £25,000 bracket, which isn't much more than MG was asking for its old, slightly smaller GS SUV model. Anyway, that's good value, even if your point of comparison is merely a volume family hatch-based contender like a Nissan Qashqai or a Seat Attica. But the HS is sized and priced to compete more with bigger, more complete mid-sized SUVs. Volkswagen's Tiguan, Mazda's CX-5, Ford's Kuga and Honda's CR-V. Opt for this MG and you're looking at a like-for-like saving of up to £6,000 over something like that. Just one single 1.5-litre petrol engine is offered, but there's a DCT automatic option and 3 levels of trim: Explore, Excite and Exclusive. Even base Explore spec gives you 17-inch alloy wheels, keyless entry with push-button start, a 10.1-inch colour touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and electric folding and heated door mirrors. The mid-level Excite version adds a rear parking camera, 18-inch alloys, rain-sensing wipers and sat-nav. This top-spec exclusive variant gives you leather upholstery, front and rear LED sequential indicators, electrically adjustable heated sports front seats, dual-zone climate control, ambient lighting and a panoramic opening sky roof. DCT versions also include driving modes including Super Sport and a customisable electronic opening tailgate. All versions of the HS come with the MG Pilot Package. That's the brand's name for a suite of electronic safety equipment that includes automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, rear cross traffic alert, blind spot detection and more. It's surprisingly complete, like much else about this car. We didn't expect the HS to deliver class-leading efficiency stats, and it doesn't. It gets pretty close to the class standard though. The 1.5-litre petrol manual model manages a combined WLTP cycle figure of 37.2 miles to the gallon and an NEDC rated CO2 emissions reading of 148 grams per kilometre. For the DCT Auto, the figures are 36.2 miles to the gallon and 157 grams per kilometre. All of this means that this car could return up to around 400 miles from every tank, though you'll need to restrain your right foot a bit to get close to that figure. What about other running cost issues? Well, all versions of this MG come with an impressive 7-year, 80,000 mile warranty as standard, which is better than most rival brands can offer. You might be aware that rival Kia offers a 7-year, 100,000 mile package, but MG still reckons its deal is preferable because it's backed by full factory support throughout, whereas direct manufacturer support for rival warranties declines the longer that they go on. In many cases, they don't go on too long. Many competitors still limit you to a 3-year backup package. A few offer 5 years. MG does better. This is the brand putting its money where its mouth is. If you previously considered the kind of spacious mid-sized SUV your family needs, then looked away when you've seen the asking prices, then this mghs is for you. It's certainly the case that some of the cabin finishing isn't quite at the standard you'd find with more established brands, and the same is true of the efficiency figures and the handling. But there's not as much in it as you might think. In fact, some of the interior design here is really quite impressive, and the potential list price savings are substantial. If that matters, then we think you'll find plenty to like about this HS. It's practical, well equipped, and even quite nice to look at. You'll just have to get used to explaining to your neighbours what it is.